Okay, you guys know the series we're working on about allowing ourselves to actually shift the mold and realize our potential and feel that connection of our true natures that Patrick talked about last week. So another day, another step. So here we go. Ready? All right. When I was little, no, I was 30 when I found the Unity Church. I had just given birth, and I just turned 30. And it was a metaphysical Christian church, the first I'd ever found, and I was home. I was home. I went, oh my God, where have you been my whole life? I came every Sunday night, no, not Sunday night, every Wednesday night. I was there. And baby in tow. And I'm talking tiny. He was in tow. You got a nursery? I got you. Here's your baby. And I loved it. I loved it. And I was doing the magic. I was manifesting. I was saying, oh, you can do things differently. I'm going to do this differently. I was working in corporate, which was very difficult for me at the time because it was difficult. But anyway, I was starting to pray over stuff at work. I was starting to make it happen. It was really, really, really working for me. And I was so happy all the time. And all the people at church were nice to me. And they were kind of in their 40s and some in their 50s. And I remember distinctly one gentleman said to me one day, oh, you're so sweet. Just wait. I said, oh? And he goes, yeah, after enlightenment, you know what you do? You chop wood and carry water. And I went, I don't want to chop wood or carry water. That's not what I want to do. And he goes, yeah, you'll see. And I'm like, oh my God, you are telling me that my beautiful magic is going to have to be reduced back to doing things I, A, don't want to do, that are laborious to me, that do not make me happy? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Well, I bought the book, and I didn't read it. But I knew that there was a message somewhere in that. And I knew that I couldn't do what he was telling me had to do. I couldn't go back. But I didn't really understand it fully. Well, I had taken some classes. This is all about the same time frame. I'd taken some classes where you fine-tune your skills of reading people. And I'd always been the one that, when I was a kid, go into the house, Cindy, and see if it's haunted. You know, that was always, send Cindy in, she'll know. So I was doing my schooling, and I had to do 3 readings and get a review for myself before I could graduate. So I went to a gentleman who was a friend of mine, he and his wife. I went to his home and I did a reading for him. They were getting ready to move. The house was for sale. They were going to go to another state up north to go into a seminary program. So he asked about the seminary program, and I said, well, you're not going to get in the first year, but you'll get in the second year. And he's like, I said, your wife is going to get in, so it's a good move, but you won't get in. And then he said, well, when am I going to sell the house? I said, like 9 months to a year. And he's like, oh, Cindy, you sweet little girl. And I knew he was like, you are so wrong. And I knew when I was talking to him, I was disappointing him. He was sending me like, energy. But he gave me a good review. He wrote, she meant so well. I could feel God's love in her. And I got in my car, and I drove away, and I said, God, what is happening? I thought I was doing your will. I thought I was doing what you wanted me to do, and I've hurt somebody. I felt so bad. And then I had to do another reading, and I did it. I got off my ego self, and I did the reading. That's chopping wood and carrying water. That's showing up even when the disappointment is there, that this is the path you have to walk. And I did not like hurting him because he was a friend of mine. And when he went to this other state and did not get accepted in seminary, was I happy? No. When his house did not sell for a year, did I go, yay? No. Because the feeling of having hurt somebody or disappointed them or dragged them down was greater than that I really was channeling energy for him from God. Do you hear what I'm saying? My personality got involved. Judgment of self wasn't fitting the mold. So I learned that When you show up with your expectations are not met, you have to show up anyway. And if I have to give away expectations of others, which is what I was doing during the magic, you think, no, I'm going to do this. God's got me. I was giving up all the expectations in my work. Me and God got this. Magic. But I have to also give up the expectations of my own for myself. You guys hear the difference? It's hard to give those up, isn't it? Those expectations of self. Because me and God got it going on until it comes to me. You cannot see God until you give up your expectations. With me? All right, let's go back to the magic for a minute. Think about the disciples when Jesus sent them out, 2 by 2. What did he say to them? You taking nothing. Leave your money at home. Leave your extra stuff at home. Leave your food at home. You guys go on out there and trust God will provide. And so they're going 2 by 2 and they're talking to all these people and teaching. Do you think they're like looking at the rich people in the crowd? Because you could tell in that day and time who had wealth by their clothing. They all wore their wealth. Do you think they went, that looks like, let's talk to them after. We can probably stay at their house, and I'm sure they got good food. Do you think they did that? Yeah. Okay. Well, they weren't supposed to. But that is our human approach, isn't it? To shore up our sides, to make sure that God did tell me to go without it, and I am without it, but God didn't tell me not to zero in on somebody that's obviously wealthy. But in order to do the magic, you have to let go of all the expectations. All the expectations. And don't you think there were poor people with sparkles in their eyes that came up to those disciples and said, I got a room for you. I got a cot on the floor. Got some good food. Y'all, you can come? And don't you think they said, yes, thank you? Thank you. Because the energy, when we're walking in the energy of God, the energy comes to us in ways that we can't expect because it's not in our brain. You guys with me? Okay. So if we expect God to have us, God's got me, then all the serendipitous activities come to us, don't they? Oh, what a surprise. Oh, that's so great. Oh, you brought me that. I needed that. We're in the flow of serendipity. We did not expect you to bring that surprise. We did not command somebody to come and do something for us. We're in the flow of letting God supply. Are you with me? Okay. So I expect God to move in ways I don't understand. I have to get my mind out of the mold. I have to get my mind out of the mold I've created for myself. Right? Okay. So simple, right? All right. So how do we do this? This service is about daily activities. It's about how do we take this into our world daily. So when I was, again, young, I learned to always ask myself, God within, higher self, heart, God, Jesus, energy, spirit. Why am I here? Not eternal, but why am I here in this moment? Is this for my highest and best? Should I do that? Should I do this? How is this? What should I do here? What should I have for lunch? I was always going to lunch at corporate. I was still in corporate. Okay, Spirit, what should I have for lunch? And I would get guidance on it. Should I make a left or a right? I don't know why. I'm making a right. And you just follow these little questions, and you start with everything becomes a spiritual connection. All of the daily stuff becomes spiritual. A lot of times I'll wear what I think is okay. But the other day I said, God, I got no idea what to wear. I got it, nothing. You got to dress me today. So I'm dressed. And I came and someone said to me, oh, Cindy, you look so pretty. And I said, well, thank you. God dressed me today. And she said, oh, I can tell. And thank you very much. When I think to remember to ask, then there's always some sweetness or something in the experience that will come through. Asking what is happening, why is this happening to me? Is this for my highest and best? Last week, Patrick talked to you a lot about your higher self and the human self and combining the two. These little questions are the first step in doing that, combining the two. Should I go, should I not? When you get an invitation to go somewhere, do you go, let me be with it. Let me see if it's mine to do. Do you do that? Sometimes. When you have to do work, do you do it? Oh, let me be with that. I'm not sure if that's mine to do. But it's staying in touch with the higher and the human talking, and that is the human connecting with the divinity of you. Is this for my highest and best? It shows the magic. It allows space for the magic. And we're looking for the spiritual blessing in the moment. So, when you listen in the little things, then you will hear in the big things. Do you wait until there is an trouble, big trouble, or you need to manifest your dream before you ask God, is this for my highest and best? Do you wait till bad things are happening? You go, okay, God, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Do you hear? If we wait for the big stuff, are you prepared? No, because you don't have your gears going. You have not mastered that inner dialogue. Whereas if you're talking to God about the little things, and you're not like every moment, okay, God, but you're in the flow every moment. I'm in the flow. Talk to me, God. Do you understand? We have to talk about the little things to hit the big things. Sound easy? Yeah. If you only listen to the big things, it's much harder to hear. If you wait for the troubles, you miss the connection. All right, and as you learn to ask about little things, you are also learning about being educated. When you ask for experiences, every experience you have, there'll be some sort of resonance. You realize that? And you can say, why am I here, God? There's some sort of resonance. And it can be an educational resonance. I needed to learn that. Or it can be a resonance of blessings. And we can say, yeah, God, walk with me, resonance of blessings only. That's all I want. Okay, you can actually do that. And you're going to stay right where you are. Do you want to stay where you are? No. Oh, thank you. We have one soul who wants to grow. So, for my highest and best means if I need to expand, let me expand. Let me grow. Now, the story I'm going to tell you is because God asked me to. Just know that. All right, about the same time I'm doing readings. In the metaphysical world, and I am young. At this point, I'm probably 33 maybe. I am young. And everybody in the metaphysical community, any of you seniors will know this, or elders, sages. There was a time when everybody, if you were worth your weight in gold, you had to do a fire walk, and you had to know about sweat lodges. Well, I'd already done a fire walk. I hadn't done a sweat lodge. And the pressure's on, like, okay, I'm loving God. God, do I need to do that? I'm loving God. And everybody in the community, you got to go do a sweat lodge. Oh, you're missing something. You got to do this for God. You got to do it for God. Okay. So this is pre-cell phones, right? No cell phones, no map directing. So I found an ad in the paper, and it said sweat lodge. And I called them. I said, okay, I'm interested in having this experience, sweat lodge. And he said, well, you can bring your bathing suit or clothing optional. And I went, oh, no, bathing suit would be fine. And then I got directions, and when the night came, I was kind of scared. I really was kind of scared. I didn't know where I was going. And I'm in the dark driving to this place. And also Cindy, honestly, Cindy had to go clothing optional. I do not want to see people. And it's like, Cindy, everybody goes to nudist camps all the time, just stop. So I had to talk myself, this is for God, I'm doing this for God, this is for God, okay. I go to the place, and it hadn't started yet, and I walked in, and oh my goodness, the energy was sexual. There was flirtation going on over here. It was like I walked in on a bunch of teenagers getting ready to do something their mom doesn't want them to. And I went, oh, and they're all going to be unclothed in just a moment. Oh, and they obviously know each other. Oh, and I'm going, okay, God, I know you brought me here. Why am I here? And the guy that was hosting it that I talked to was very neutral, but he was nice enough. He saw my discomfort, obviously. And he was talking. He goes, yeah. And then afterwards, we'll have dinner because nobody's eaten. And I said, oh, I've already eaten. And he goes, oh, well, you're not supposed to have eaten. And I went, thank you, God. Great. I need to go because I've already eaten. Got in my car, pulled out, and I'm driving down. And God, why did I have this experience? And God said, you got to see how some intentions are not carried it to the highest. Your intention was one level and theirs was different. But, God bailed me out. And so I got to understand certain things. And time went on, and there's another sweat lodge coming up, this time a Native Americans coming into Atlanta. They're building the lodge, which means they're building it with all the sticks and everything. And friend, like 6 dimensions away, knew the guy. He's a good guy. Okay, great. I scheduled. It's daytime. I go. And they're lovely people. They all seem so lovely, so lovely. And so I go in, and I'm just chatting for a moment before we start building it, and he's talking about women in their moon, how powerful they are, and how they're not allowed to be in a sweat lodge. And I went, oh, that means they're cycling. I went, oh, I was cycling. I did not know that. And I said, I got to go then. And he said, well, why don't you stay and help us because you're powerful right now, and you can pray while we build it. And I said, okay. So I prayed while they built it, got in my car and left. And I went, God. I'm trying to have a sweat lodge for you. Sacrifice my beingness so I can get to know you better. And it just didn't happen. Although that was not a negative experience. That was lovely. That one wasn't negative either. Time rolls on. I meet Patrick, and we have a friend who has a sweat lodge in Atlanta. Now, this sucker's made out of bricks and cinder blocks. We're talking it doesn't breathe. Think oven. It doesn't breathe. So we get interquesters go, yeah, let's do it. We're already up and going, let's do a sweat lodge. So like 15 of us go downtown Atlanta, and we get into this thing, this sweat lodge, that doesn't breathe. And it is so hot. And I'm finally there. And I'm going, God, why? Why am I here? I stayed through one round, and as soon as they opened the doors, like, hose me down. We all flooded out. And of the IQ group, I think only one, Patrick didn't even go back in because he kind of hung out with me, but he would have. But only 1 or 2 people went back in for round 2, and I think that's as far as we went. We didn't, is there 4 rounds? Something like that. And I said, God, oh my God. God said, Cindy, you know what? You never have to suffer for me. Did you not realize this is not your path? I tried to show you. But you got to learn, and I got to support you. This is not your way, and this will never be your way. But God, it's everybody else's way in metaphysics. It's not yours, baby. I share this with you for several reasons. Whose mold was I trying to fit into? I had left corporate. Eat my dust, corporate. I'm doing what I do. I was still working there, but they were working for me now. Like, I show up, I get my gift, I give you my gift, you give me my paycheck, and we're good. I'm not taking you home with me. I'm not worrying about you anymore. I'm not letting you control my life. I am contributing. You're loving me. I love you. We're done. Had it going on there. But metaphysically, I wanted to live up to the mold of the people around me that were all saying, you have to do this. Do you see? Do you see how we can easily slide into expectations without even being aware of it? And I support all you guys. Our guys go and do sweat lodges periodically, and they're hot. The Native American that leads those says, I've never made them so hot as I make them for the IQ team. I wouldn't go. Like, you guys go and enjoy. That's not mine to do. So, education, was it for my highest and best? Yes. Was I guided every step? Yes. Was I protected every step? Yes. Did I learn? Yes. Did I expand out of the mold? Yes. That was probably one of the biggest expanding out of the mold experiences. Now you are free to know you don't have to look like everybody else. Do you hear? Even metaphysically, you don't have to look like everybody else. And the wonderful things that happens when we start really listening to the guidance within with clarity is we start learning about our inner power. When I can say, no, Pat, you guys go on. You're going to go raft race? Head on out there. I'm not going. You're going to do something else? That's fine. That's not my way. We're going to go meditate all day? I'm there. Oof, that's my way. You know? So knowing who you are, when you ask and get those ideas and directions and directives, you get to realize that it is your power. You don't have to say, how do I need to please you? How do I need to please you? How do I make you happy today? What do I need to say? That's what our life is based on. Pleasing others so we can be pleased or get energy back. I don't need to do that anymore. I need to say, I see you what you need. I don't know if it's mine to do. Nope, I think you're good. I'll send you love, and I'm going to go do what's mine to do over here. So we can interact with one another without losing that power, that central core. And in that central core is where the heaven and earth meets. And you will tell any metaphysician, that's not mine to do, and you know what they say? Great, good, fine with me, great. It's not mine to do. People tell me that all the time. Would you? Nope, okay. Somebody's going to do it. It's somebody's to do. All right. So we got to train our brain to seek the divine. Train your brain to seek the divine. All right. We are leaving servitude to the outer and moving into a God expression of joy and love. When you know who you are, you can become who you are, the multifaceted being of expression. Then your presence becomes filled with love and powerful. Then when you lend your energy to something or have an experience, you're fully present with it. You're walking with it. You're being with it. There's no question that this is my choice, I'm here. You know? When I know who I am, I seek God guidance always for my highest and best. I do not do things out of obligation. Still, socially, I think there's still a structure of, well, they gave me a gift, I need to give them one. Yes? Do you guys still have that? Only a few. Good. I believe, Father, they gave me a gift. Please bless the energy that now returns to them. It will return to them. When he was a baby, and people would do fantastic things. No, I do fantastic things for them. That's how it went. I do fantastic things for them. They're above and beyond. I can't thank you, Cindy. I can't pay you, Cindy. I can't give this back to you, Cindy. And I said, well, maybe, I said to God, maybe the energy will return to me, but maybe it'll return to my son in ways I don't understand when he needs it. But the energy is coming back to my family. The energy is coming back into my world, to the people I love. It's going to return. There's not a debt to that person. They don't have a debt to me. We're in the flow. It's always going to come back. Now, that makes sense to everybody. Okay. All right. When I know who I am, I seek God's guidance highest and best. And the definition of a master is the one through whom an answer can be found. It's not the one who knows everything. It's the one through whom the answer can be found. And who can the answer be found through? Someone who asks and who has that connection. They can shut their eyes and say, okay, let me see what I'm getting. This is what I feel. Boom. Got it? The one through whom the answer can be found, and that comes from the constant dialogue with Spirit. Until our minds are one. And even after years of doing this, I need to ask all the time. My mind has not yet completely become one. So here is your recap. Release expectations. Get mind out of the mold. You guys got it? That's your expectations, the expectations of people around you. Release expectations. Connect to divine mind. Train your brain to seek the divine. And what does that open to? Your potential. When you're training your brain to embrace, to give strength, and let you move into what you want to do. And then you find the power in you. Release expectations, connect to the divine mind, and find your power inside. You will become your potential and your true self. Human, divine, one. There is no mold to fill. Potential becomes effortlessly expressed. Higher self and human are one, expressing on earth. So, in the energy of God guidance, I invite you to feel a sense of freedom, to know that you will never know you until you stop looking for you outside. You will never know you until you just look in the mirror and let everything else be okay. And then you'll find something beautiful, fabulous, and magic. Let's go within. Father, Mother God, we open our heart, and I ask that a beautiful light just engulf us. Father, I ask that the words be rearranged to total truth, whatever anybody needs to hear. And I ask that they breathe in the energy of what truth they need this day. Breathe it in and feel a beautiful light of the Christ standing by you. Feel the presence of Jesus Christ, his love, his peace. And take his hand and let him lift you up. Just let yourself lift up. See a beautiful light overhead. Just lift up into a beautiful light. And breathe in the space in this light. Realize there is no form in this light. It is filled with all that you could possibly desire. It is filled with heart. As you breathe it in, know that you can create and craft whatever journey you choose. But just stay in it for a moment and let it feed you. As I breathe, I empower the unique I am. As I breathe, I allow the divinity of the I am to move through me. And Father, Mother God, I am yours. Your beloved child. Now take a breath, and if you want to form something to create in your reality, do it now. Take a breath in, just see something appearing. This is what I'd like to form in my reality. See it? And then ask, is this for my highest and best? And just notice if it morphs or if it stays. And whether it becomes exactly as you breathed it, feel that it comes in ways to bless you. Feel the energy flowing through you. Father, Mother God, we thank you for the beautiful life we have here. And we ask that your love engulf us. Feel your love and gently come back down the column of light into your body. Feel your body expanding like it's just an orb of light instead of a physical vehicle. I am greater than I knew. We thank you, God. Breathe, and when you're ready, gently open your eyes. I hope you felt that beautiful light. As you review in your mind the series we've been doing in June, which I know you will, as you perhaps even watch the services yet again, realize that to free you is the beginning of you. Free you to begin you. And I would also invite you to do a little homework this week. Is this for my highest and best good? What should I do here? Should I make a right or left? Start the dialogue. Yay, God.